What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me today. I'm still out here getting these steps in. Got some time. I think I'm a good ways. I think I'm nearing the end. I would check my watch now, but I can't check it one-handed. Anyway, let's get into the discussion about the job market. I have my beliefs about the job market, and they may match some of you guys, and they may not. But let's dive into it anyway. The job market, man. I keep hearing, people say that the job market sucks or the job market is trash, and I don't know. I don't know what things are like in your area. Perhaps in your area, it really is trash. I don't know. But I know that's not the case for many people. So it may be the case for some, but I know it definitely is not the case for most. It just comes down to how bad do you want it, okay? Some of you guys, you've been listening to me saying you want to get on the grind, like I recommend. You want to start saving a few bucks. You want to bank up that 10,000 that I recommend you do. That's fantastic. You're like, I'm ready to get going. I just need a job, but I'm having trouble finding a job because the market in my area sucks. And I'm just here to tell you, as a big brother with love, it probably isn't that the market in your area sucks and that there's just no jobs to be had. It's likely that, bro, you just too picky. I'm not saying just take anything, but some of you guys, your expectations, they don't match what's available. Okay. When you are trying to get rolling, you got to kind of just get moving on something. It may not be some glamour job or some ideal job out the gate, and that's okay. That's totally fine. It really don't have to be. Just get going and start making you a few coins, because right now you're sitting there not making anything, and that ain't good. You're certainly no faster on reaching your goals making nothing. So here's what I say. You may need to relax your expectations a little bit and get something that, you may not really want at the moment, just to start getting some revenue coming. You don't have to stay there. You could look for something else that you could, move on to, but at least get some sort of gig so you can start earning, man. Because that's the thing. If you're one of these folks right now that, you don't even have $1,000 saved up, because apparently that's the majority of Americans right now. So if you're one of those guys right now, you don't even have $1,000 saved up, you couldn't afford a surprise $1,000 expense, bro, you're not in a position to be as picky as you being right now. You got to get moving with something. So as I said, get something, start earning some revenue. You don't have to stay there. Just get moving so you can start earning some coins. Because once you get a few dollars banked up, like let's say you got $1,000 banked up or whatever. All right, you're going to instantly feel better about yourself, even if it's a job that may not necessarily be all that great. You're going to instantly feel better about yourself because you're now out in front of most. What's the statistic of most Americans not having $1,000 in their bank account, not being able to afford a surprise $1,000 expense? You're going to automatically feel better about yourself because now you're at least beating them. You ain't still rich, ain't still wealthy, well off, whatever. You really technically still broke. You got $1,000, but you technically are still broke boy status. But that's okay because you're not broke. You at least got that $1,000 or something happen, out of nowhere that's gonna cost you a few hundred. You at least got that covered, no problem. So you gotta start moving. You gotta get this going for yourself. The reason why I say you guys are probably being too picky, and this isn't an attack, as I said, this is all big brother love that I'm trying to kick to you. This isn't an attack, but man, everywhere I go, there's lines. Everywhere that I go, there's lines and there's help wanted signs outside. So, you can't really say that there's no work out there. There is. And that's probably the case in your area too. It may not be everywhere in your area, but you done been somewhere that was sorely understaffed. You had to wait to get whatever it is you were there for, be it, some restaurant or something. You had to wait longer than you would have liked, longer than you believe you have previously, a couple years ago or something like that. You had to wait in this line, and there's some help wanted sign outside. And I see this all the time. So as I said, it's not that the job market sucks. It's that many of y'all, it's not jobs that you want to work. You don't want to work at McDonald's. You don't want to work at Dunkin' Donuts. You don't want to work at Burger King. You don't want to work at Starbucks. Man, these are all jobs that are available for you to jump in with, little or no experience and start making a few coins. Take advantage of that. You're gonna have to swallow your pride a bit. I mean, me personally, I would say if you broke, you need to get over that pride stuff, man. Like, you can't be sitting up there, a super proud individual, a grown man that's all proud and stuff, and your pockets is touching. That don't work. You at the point where you got to do what you got to do, as long as it's legal. I'm not saying do anything illegal, but do what you got to do legally. So if you sitting up there and your pockets is touching, okay, you can't afford anything right now, and you talking about you don't want to work here, you don't want to work there. No, man. When you flat broke, these jobs, they not beneath you. That's the thing. You think you're a bit higher up echelon wise than what you really are, and you got to get over that thinking. I get it. It's okay to have pride. Okay, it is. I'm just saying that there's a time and place for it. When you flat broke, bro, that is not the time for you to be on some pride stuff about you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. When you flat broke, you got to lower your standards a bit. Stuff that you may necessarily not have been willing to do, jobs you may not have been willing to work, you got to put that aside. Some of y'all don't want to work a job because you're embarrassed people are going to see you there. It's some job that, is not exactly glamorous. It's being basically a cashier or something somewhere. And you're embarrassed of people who know you from social media or something like that, walking in and seeing you working there. Man, to hell with that, bro. To hell with that. At the end of the day, what you're doing is an honest day's wages. If you worried about somebody walking in and seeing what you're doing to just earn an honest day's wages, you care way too much about what people think. Like, I'm telling you that. You care way too much about what people think. You got to stop caring so much about what people think, because they're not going to help you. If you got different monthly expenses, these people who you worried about fronting for, how much do they got on those? How much are they going to help you out with that? They not. Chances are they not working some glamour job either. They working something around what you'll be sliding into, if not something a little bit worse or possibly a little bit better, but it's roughly the same thing, retail or something like that. I used to work at Target some years back. I absolutely loved that job. If I had to, I would go back there without hesitation. Real talk. If I had to, I would go back there without hesitation. I've worked at Target, I've worked at GameStop, I've gotten out and did DoorDash. I've gotten out there and I've hustled, bro. I've gotten out there and I've went after it. That's why I'm telling y'all, man, you don't have to stay doing this stuff forever. Just do what you got to do long enough to go to the next step. So stop being so proud. It's okay to be proud, but you got to tone it down a bit, man, because your pride is keeping you broke. And it just don't make no sense to be super proud and being flat broke. There is no better indicator that you need to swallow your pride and make some changes than being broke. Like, that should be humbling. I am broke. I got to do something. And there's all types of places that are hiring. As I said, I'm out here every day. I was at the Target earlier. I saw help wanted signs there. They was talking about hiring in at, $16 an hour. I remember when the pandemic first started, they was paying a little more. I think they was paying like 17, 18 at that same one. They didn't scale it back to 16. But if you flat broke, 16 an hour sounds, or should sound, pretty damn good. I know if I was flat broke, 16 an hour would sound really damn good to me. For those who got in there when they was paying like 17, 18, 19 for you to start, and they have kept that job, man, they've been killing it, especially if they've been doing that shift that I did back when I worked at Target, the shift that was like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like I worked, I was working part-time there, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., about 5, sometimes 6 days a week. I was much younger doing this, had a lot less responsibilities and whatnot. But at the time, that was decent money for me. And I always worked more hours if I could. So working there, it wasn't a glamour job or anything like that, but I really enjoyed working there. And to this day, I have nothing negative to say about my experience working at Target. For real, if I needed to, I would go back to Target. Y'all think I'm kidding. I will get out here and do the very same stuff I'm telling y'all to do if it means eating. I'm a big fan of eating, so I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to eat, legally, of course. So if that means I gotta dash to eat, I'm a dash to eat. Gig work is really big right now. If you don't want to do some 9 to 5, that's cool. Gig work is really big right now. If you got a decent car and your driver's license and insurance is straight, get on one of these gig apps. Gig work is really booming right now. People doing Lyft and Uber and DoorDash, Uber Eats. They got Instacart. They got all this different stuff. Gig work for real is really booming right now. That's an alternative if you don't want to work a 9 to 5. I personally don't really recommend gig work simply because the amount that you need to do it in order for it to really be profitable for you, you're going to end up killing your car in the process. Not if you got a newer one, but if you got an older car, the amount of grinding that you're going to have to do doing like DoorDash or whatever to make it really lucrative for yourself, you're going to end up killing your car. And y'all know replacing an engine ain't cheap. I mentioned to y'all before, when I had to replace my engine, it was $3,600. So, I don't know if it's worth it to you doing DoorDash to potentially have to replace your engine as a result of it. So I'd say get a job at some place that you can drive to, work there, and go home. That way you're not putting all that extra wear and tear and the mileage on your vehicle, because you're gonna have to pay for gas, you're gonna have to replace tires more regularly, you're gonna have to get oil changes more frequently. It's just stuff is gonna go out quicker. But a lot of people doing it, so I guess there's a lot of people that don't mind. I'm just kicking to y'all the overhead that comes with it. As someone who's done it before, I'm kicking to y'all the overhead that comes along with it, because people don't tend to talk about that very much. They just tell you, oh, I'm making $1,500 a week doing DoorDash, whatever. They're not gonna tell you that, out of that $1,500, they've thrown like $400 in their car on gas. So just keep that in mind. But y'all, man, the job market is not as bad as you making it seem. The job market is not trash. Many of you guys are just way too picky. You're a little too proud right now. And it's okay. I get what you're saying, because I'm a proud motherfucker myself. But right now, pride is not what you need. Dollars is what you need. So grab something. One of them help wanted signs that you see, or now hiring signs that you see at one of those places that you like, man, I don't want to work here. This place is beneath me. Man, go ahead and fill out that application and get in there and start making you some money. As I said, you ain't got to stay there. Get in there and make you a few dollars. While you there, look for something else. Or don't. You might find that once you start working at that place, it's not so bad after all, and you're gonna go ahead and stay there for a while, you know, to do what you got to do until you can go to the next step. You know, so there's that too. Basically, your potential is limitless, and you're limiting your potential by right here in the infancy of your execution, you making suboptimal moves by being too picky about where you want to start at. You at the bottom right now, so it can't get much worse than this. Start somewhere, get moving, start making yourself a few dollars, y'all. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this lands for whoever needed to hear it. I've been seeing this a lot, you know, and I thought I'd finally address it. Get out here and make y'all some money. So I'm gonna keep doing these steps. I've been walking over here in circles by the African American Museum. I like coming over here. This is a really good spot. But thumbs up this video. Hit me with them comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate y'all. Peace.